And he came by the Spirit into the temple, and when the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him after the custom of the law, then took he him up in his arms, and blessed God, and said, Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace according to thy word. And what really makes me consider something here is this word servant. So he was a servant, but I also got this impression of not only did he depart, but he was actually also stating that Jesus would now depart, because Jesus was the servant of all, King of all kings, but the servant of all as well. So often carrying Christ and carrying that duty to serve, and that duty also to rest as well and to depart in peace. So this is a constant cycle for us that carry Christ, to remember that overall we should be adhering to rest, but it's a rest in Christ, and where it's a rest in Christ, that means that we have to do the duty of Christ as almost like a servant in some ways. Although we know and we come to understand that is more than just a servant, it is a friend of God's, it is God's child. And then there's also this departing in peace. How ready are we able to really walk in that way? Sometimes it's really quite difficult. We're put into places of positions where we need to perhaps go observe, witness, bear witness, and be there for a time, but then we've got to depart. And it came to that point the other day. I had been given the duty to go out to observe and see what was going on with the traditional Latin Mass. And as I had pointed that out about 13:1 of Romans, so chapter 13 of Romans, point 1, which is that all are to be subject to the power of God, and in other words, to the powers that be are all ordained of God. Romans chapter 13 verse 1, the King James Version. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. And so when I had placed that there, it was a very, very obvious word from God. It's not something that can be denied. But something like that quickly showed me very, very a strategic form, really, of showing me who was on the Lord's side and who was not.